Hello everybody and welcome to the draft analysis for my PSS draft, PSS Season 5 draft league. Obviously I am Jed, the coach of the Adelaide Overheat, and yeah, PSS or Pokemon Service System is a league run by my good friend Hamu. And yeah, it's going to be a little bit of an interesting season because there's some interesting unbans and some interesting rules. Like, for one, the highest killing move over most leagues that I've played in, Earthquake, has been banned, so that's shifted the tiers a little bit. And yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's just a fun season for the end of Gen 7 going into Gen 8. So, yeah, without too much more rambling on, we'll get straight into the draft. I didn't have a terrible pick, I guess. Well, actually, no, it was pretty terrible. It was like right in the middle, 10th or something like that. I can't remember overly. So, no rule pick is not my favourite place to be in, but what can you do? You can't always get near the wheel. But yeah, anyway, my first pick, I was really surprised, made it all the way to me, which is there we go, Groudon. Groudon, obviously, I think people overlooked it a little bit, just because Precipice Blade is banned, and it obviously, since Earthquake is banned, it can't use that either. But I mean, still a solid rock setter, still a solid sun setter. Just spoiler alert, I didn't lean into the sun that much. But still pretty cool, I think. Groudon. Oh, how cool are these slides, by the way? Hamu did a really good job on them, so I like it. But yeah, anyway, Groudon's still gonna be a good rock setter, stuff like that. Still gonna be a solid threat on my team. Like, nice attack, nice HP, nice defense. It's just a all-round decent mon. And I've never used it before in Draft League, never really used it before at all actually, so yeah, it's going to be fun to use. Obviously, Primal form is banned as well, but still going to be fun. I think people were sleeping on this a bit. I was really surprised that made it down to me, but that's alright, happy to have it. Next up, I got, I think I went for another tier 1 in this Heatran. Obviously got that 4 times ground weakness, but since Earthquake is banned, which is the highest damaging, most common ground move, it makes this a little bit stronger. Also another good rock setter. And yeah, still decently bulky, still decently offensive. Definitely a threat that my opponent's going to have to worry about, for sure. Can absorb those fire moves. Not that I'm super worried about them at the moment, but fire types are quite likely to be around, just from the fact that steel types are much better with an Earthquake ban, so fire types are much more likely to be drafted and much more likely to come to matches. Same with fighting types as well, but that's going to be something that Heatran's going to have to watch out for. Heatran with chocolate berries probably going to be pretty common. But yeah, obviously things like Bulldoze, Stomping Tantrum, and other Earth Power, stuff like that, other ground moves are still allowed, but so definitely still something to worry about there, but like, it's not as worrying as Earthquake being everywhere basically. So yeah, Next up, I got Nihilego, and another 4 times ground weakness. I was actually looking at getting Tapu Bulu like after this, just to like, I don't know. I didn't really want to be that Bulu train guy, but with this pick and the next pick that I make after this, Bulu was something that I was definitely considering. Because like, obviously I'm getting quite a ground weakness here, but that's alright. Nihilego is going to be pretty strong as well, since like Earth Power is basically the next best ground move. Having that decent special defense and HP means that it's much better at tanking that than it is at tanking an Earthquake, so I'm not too worried about it. Well, not as much at least. Nihilego is always fun. Toxic Spikes, another Stealth Rocker. I've got lots of Stealth Rocks options actually. That's pretty nice. I like that. Decent special attacker, nice speed. My fastest one so far, so that's pretty cool. Next up, I think I grabbed my Mega. It's Mega I haven't used at all in this in Draft League in like the whole time I've been playing, and that's Mega Ampharos. Yeah, it's not very fast. It's got good special attack. Got that Dragon typing. Obviously, it compounds my ground weakness a bit more, but as we said, like. Earthquake being banned, you're not going to see as many good ground moves everywhere. Yeah, looking forward to having some fun with this, seeing what I can do. But obviously I'm still going to have to look at helping that ground weakness later in the draft. Yeah, I don't really know what Mega Ampharos does a lot, but as I said, I've never used it before, but yeah, looking forward to using it this time. So having a mold break is always nice as well, for things like the Mimikyu, any sturdy mons, stuff like that, etc. So yeah, could be cool. Let's have a look at what's next. Is Alolan Persian? Yeah, okay, so some nice party shot tech there. Helps out like to get things like Nihilego and Groudon, even Mega Ampharos in, allow them to set up and stuff like that. Obviously, got to watch out for fighting moves, but yeah, I've got a bit of a fighting weakness too. Nihilego doesn't want to take fighting moves, especially physical ones. Like, it is neutral, but still. Heatran doesn't like fighting moves. I mean, Groudon's bulky, so it's not a big deal there. But yeah, I like Alolan Persian. Nice and fast. With that parting shot is really nice. It got other things like Taunt and stuff like that. It's going to be a useful support mod for sure for my team, enabling my team to do things well, hopefully. Next up is Silvally, so this is my first hazard removal, which I might not really have got enough of for this draft, to be honest. I mean, it's not like I'm overly hazards weak. Everything so far is neutral at the very worst, so that's good. And I mean, obviously Silvally can be any time, so it can be neutral resisted all week, but yeah, I like Silvally, one of my favourite draft league ones. Just the versatility it can provide is really useful. Though I did not draft a water type this draft, so I can see Silvally becoming the bulky water of my team whenever I need it. But at least it gets defog, and it's going to be a reliable defogger. It's definitely the most reliable defogger I drafted, I believe. So I can see that. I mean, I can see I bring this as a defensive defogger parting shot most weeks. But I mean, it's Silvally, so there's plenty of other options too. Next up is Cryogonal, so some more hazard removal here. Got the defog and the rapid spin, but obviously it does have that rocks weakness, so it's not as necessarily as useful as the Silvally is for hazard removal purposes, but it does get that levitate, so that's helping with my ground weakness a bit. And obviously that means it avoids spikes and T-spikes. So yeah, not necessarily a bad add to the team. Cryogonal is one of my more favorite lower tier mons. Um, though I don't often draft it, just because I like getting if I'm going ice, if I'm getting an ice type, Kyurem or like Sneasel or something more offensive is generally what I go for an ice type. But yeah, Cryogonal's cool. Don't think I've used it on a team for many seasons now, so it's good to have it back. It's gonna be fun. Up next we have the Gorgeist. So yeah, I don't know what anyone really expected me to go for. Now, I guess I should explain, because I went Groudon, Heatran, Nihilego. They are all tier 1s. So I had to take 3 tier 5s and a tier 2 Mega to have enough points to be able to finish the draft off. So Cryogonal, Gorgeist, and Alolan Persian were all tier 5s. So I feel like I got really good value there. All of those mons I feel like could be tier 4s. Arguably Cryogonal, I guess, belongs in tier 5, but it could arguably be tier 4 as well. So I feel like I got really good value there for being able to get 3 tier 1s as well. So not unhappy with that. Gorgeist is like probably my favorite ghost type to use. It's probably one of my favorite grass types to use as well. So yeah, good to have it back on my team, and I just like the versatility it can have between its different sizes and speed tiers, etc. So it has some nice utility for my team for sure, and also it's got that ground resist as well. So happy to have something else to help with my first half of my team's ground weakness. Whoops, I went 2 picks there. Spoiler alert. Slurpuff, Webs is going to help things like Groudon's going to help Nihilego, going to help, I guess, Heatran as well. It's going to help everything on my team, basically, get some more outspeeding done. And obviously it's got sets that can be threatening as well. I think it can Calm Mind. I know it can Belly Drum, so always something that my opponent's going to have to prep for. And I like mons that have that kind of versatility, have many niche moves that you can make some interesting sets with. So yeah, not the strongest fairy, but it does still get Wish and stuff like that. But yeah, there wasn't really many other good fairies by the time I got this late in the draft. So I just got the one that provided me webs, basically. I like webs. The threat of webs can be really useful, so yeah, good to have it. And then, as we saw before, I did also draft Heracross. Once again, another earth resist, ground resist, always nice. And I mean, obviously this thing is going to be choice scarfed a lot of the time, unless I'm running webs. Then a gut set could be very useful. But yeah, decent attack, decent bulk. It's not quite as bulky as Buzzwole, which would have been the bug fighting I would have been looking at, but obviously it doesn't die to special moves quite as easily as Buzzwole does. It's not as frail especially, so that's nice. And it's a bit faster. I believe it's a bit faster. But yeah, Heracross is cool. I don't think I've ever used base form Heracross. I've used Mega Heracross before, but yeah, looking cool. Scarf Moxie sets are going to be quite common, I think, but if I can get webs up, then Guts sets or non-Scarf Moxie sets could be useful too. Then I got Reuniclus as a bulky psychic to finish out my draft. I was looking at some psychics in tier 2, that was what I had enough points for leftover, or it's what my last slot was on the draft. I didn't have a Psychic yet, didn't have a Water either, so I was debating between those two. But yeah, Reuniclus was there, so I took that. It was, I think, like Alakazam, Reuniclus, I don't know what other Psychics were there. But yeah, obviously a bit more bulk to my team is not necessarily a bad thing. Trick Room's cool, Magic Guard's cool, Overcode if there's a Spore user could be useful, I guess, but more likely to be Magic Guard or Regenerator if I'm going to do anything. But yeah, some more special offense to my team. Calm Mindsets are useful, and this thing can win games if your opponent's not adequately prepared, so I've definitely been on the losing side of that in the past. But yeah, that's my team for PSS Season 5 EQ ban. Let me know what you think, I guess, if you like the team or not. I think it's going to be fun. Something to mess around with until Gen 8 comes out at the very least. So thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed my draft analysis. I mean, I guess it wasn't super heavy on the analysis, but yeah, it's definitely a team that will be enjoyable. And we'll see how I go. Hopefully playoffs are on the cards. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will catch you all later. Peace.